Publisher journey video of the day for HowExpert. Today I got some work done remotely. I was mainly focused on creating an outline for several books, and sometimes it's a lot easier to focus on one type of work and rinse and repeat. For example, today I was focused on creating the title, the subtitle, and the table of contents for one book, and I decided usually after I do that, back in the days, I would go on to the next process, which is set it up on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all the book details, then find the image, and then work with the designer, and then create the content, and then publish it. That's the start to finish process of publishing. But today, I found out one thing. I said, you know what? Let me just focus on creating the best title, the details, the book details before I create the content. Let me just create the title, the subtitle, and the table of contents for as many books as I can. So I worked on multiple book outlines. Number one, for online business, I'm going to do a book about online business called HowExpert Guide to Online Business, how to start, grow, and succeed in your online internet business. Stay tuned. I was like, why not? I'm an internet entrepreneur. Why not? Why shouldn't I do this? Okay, so I'm going to do that. And next thing I say, you know what? Why not another type of book? It may not be a core category, but it's a topic that I want to do from my heart, which is to turn your passion into profit. I get excited when I see people with talents and they're not monetizing it. I want to tell them to make their passion into profit, because it's possible. Okay, anyone could do that. Turn their hobby, skill, or talent into money online. Okay, so as an online entrepreneur, I know it is possible. And actually, even the top entrepreneurs out there, like Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, have always said, follow your passion. I know some entrepreneurs don't do that, but if you really look at the very top entrepreneurs, they do say that, follow your passion, because it is important. If you don't have any passion for your business, you're not going to be able to persevere, because there's going to be setbacks. You're going to have challenges. You're going to fail. That's why it's important to follow your passion. Contrary to people say, don't go into your passion business and whatnot. Okay, some say just pick a business and then be passionate about it. That's true too, but it's ideal if you can turn your passion to profit, right? So I wanted to do a book on that, HowExpert Guide to Passion into Profit. Stay tuned. I created an outline for that. Another topic I'm going for is about science. I want to go for core categories. So HowExpert Guide to Science, coming soon in the future. Another core category is technology. HowExpert Guide to Technology. I created the outline for those as well. And I created another, last but not least, one of my other topics is, I was like, why not do a book about all the countries in the world? I just thought about the whole world. You know, just like, let's do a book about that. So it's going to be called HowExpert Guide to World Countries. And it talks about pretty much 200, whatever the amount of countries there are in the world, 200 countries, every single nation on earth. You're going to learn about it in this one book. Listen, guys, I don't have any limits for my publishing brand. I publish all topics A to Z. So if I have an idea, I'm going to go for it. If it's a core category, I'm going to go for it. If it's a unique topic, I'm going to go for it. All topics A to Z, HowExpert. That's how I'm going to do it. And today, I focused on my outline, and that was it. Boom, boom, boom. I did that. And after that, you know, I was at the Rose Bowl area, so it was in the middle of the green grass area. I love working there. You know, sometimes you got to mix it up. If you're used to working at a coffee shop all the time, the same one, mix it up. Go somewhere else. Go try them all. Especially for those of you who can work remotely, right? Especially for all us online business owners. Why not do that? I like to take my phone or laptop, you know, at a coffee shop or at the mall, or sometimes even at the beach, or sometimes at like a park area. Today I went to the Rose Bowl area, and there's like a grass area. No one's there. So you learn from working in different environments. Like, I love working in a grass area where there's nobody. I take my chair that I got on Amazon. I take it in the middle of the grass. No one can bother me. I don't have any distractions for other people near me and whatnot. Sometimes, you know, if you work in a small, you know, place at a coffee shop, sometimes people can irritate you. Let's just be real, right? They can be talking loud on the phone or whatever. So I love to try out different places, like the grass area in the Rose Bowl. I took my chair, and you know, there's no distraction. I have a great view of the Rose Bowl, the grass, the sky. I could just focus with my phone. And those type of environments, I have a better time focusing on creative work, like coming up with ideas, book ideas, creating an outline, So that's what I did. And on top of that, one thing I learned is that if you're in the zone, if you're in the state of flow, just rinse and repeat. Like today, for example, I was focused on creating an outline for one book. And I said, you know what? Let me just continue to this formula. And let me do it for the multiple future books that I want to work on in the future, right? And that's all I did. I created an outline for like 5 future books. And boom, boom, boom. I created a title, subtitle, and table of contents for like 5+ books. And I got a lot of things done, So sometimes when you just focus on one type of task and rinse and repeat, you can get more stuff done, as opposed to constantly changing up. Like once I created a title, like then setting up the book, it kind of interrupts the flow of your work, right? And the more you do it when you're in the state of flow, you get better at it. It gets more smoother. So that's one thing I've learned. Maybe I should work like this in the future. Like if I'm working on an outline, let me work on multiple books at the same time, the same type of task. And then tomorrow, maybe I can work on finding the images for all these books. And maybe the next day I can work on creating the content for all these books and so forth. Figure out how you work best in what type of environment. Some people may prefer to work at home, and that's cool. Some people may want to work at just a coffee shop, and that's cool. For me, I like working solo in a big environment where I have so much space, and no distraction. That's what I've learned about myself, and I can work with my phone. So certain works I can work with my phone. Certain things like creating the book content, I need to work on my laptop. But coming up with ideas, creating an outline, that I don't need a computer per se. So in those type of tasks, I prefer to go to an open space area where I have a big space. I can think more expansively because I'm seeing the whole, I'm seeing things far away instead of being all cloistered up, just staring at a phone only, right? So that expands my mind physically. When I'm physically able to see things far away, I could expand my mind even more, I believe. Sometimes I go to the beach. It expands my mind. I feel a lot more peaceful, at peace. I feel at one with God almost, looking at the ocean. And then my mind is free from all the stress of life. Free from all the distractions and the stresses of life. To think expansively, to think creatively, to think without limits. That's why I try out different locations. And figure out how you work best in certain locations versus others. And certain locations, if you're working and you like to work in diverse environments, focus on certain type of work in certain environments and other types of work in other environments. And then I believe you can be a lot more productive. So that's another type of alternative tip of the day for our publishers or online business owners out there. That's pretty much it for today, okay? And I had a good day today. After that, I walked around the Rose Bowl area, and I was walking, right? And there was this old guy. So I just said, hey, when he was walking around, it was a 3-mile walking circle. And I just say, hey, I don't even know the guy. He's an old guy. He's just like, I just say, hey. And he says, you know what? Let me walk with you. And at first, like, I don't know about you, but if you're from Southern California, LA, like, people don't talk to strangers, right? Nobody talks to anyone, right? But he's like, let me talk. Like, well, I'll talk. And turns out he was a 79-year-old guy, retired. He was in the Air Force. He was talking about how he has he had a business. He wanted to pass down to his kids and grandkids. He was trying to teach me about life and like tell me everything. Like we ended up talking 20 minutes, like walking around the whole thing for like 2 miles. So, and then afterwards, I just shook his hand. Hey, what's your name? And that was it, And it's kind of interesting, And afterwards, so that kind of like changed my day. Like I'm not used to that. He's from like the East Coast area. He comes to visit his friends or whatever. So that was kind of interesting, just randomly, And then after that, I was ready to go home, and in the parking lot, there was these two little cute dogs. Like, they came up to me, you know, from across this other guy's, I guess he owned the dogs, but they look kind of like, they look like they didn't get fed enough food or whatever, right? But they came up to me, and they're these two little tiny dogs, right? And they look like they needed food. So like, and then I think they were asking me for food pretty much. So, and then I realized, oh my goodness, I have one crackers inside my car. So I went to my car and took it out, and the dog got excited, going back to its owner, like realizing they got food. And I went up to the owner, you know, and I said, hey, this is for the dogs. Hey, just for the dogs. And he wanted to take a look at it. Yeah, it was just peanut butter and some kind of crackers I got at 7-Eleven back in the days, and I had it in my car just in case if I was hungry. But those dogs, they looked like they wanted food from me, you know. So I gave it to the owner, and the dogs got excited, and I said, this is for the dogs, and I'm sure he fed it, you know. So today it was just like, it was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful day. All these positive things happen, I don't know, randomly, just from me walking to the old guy was walking across from me. I just say, hey. You know, most people won't say hey, but I don't know. I just felt like, you know what? Sometimes I say hey if I feel the vibes. So hey. And he said hey, and then he's like, you know what? Let me walk with you. And at first I'm like, what? And he started giving me, he's a very financially successful guy. He worked in the Air Force, got retired, and he worked for another company as an engineer or something. And then now he has his business. Now he's selling his stuff to minimize. He's 79 years old, selling on eBay. And yeah, he was talkative, very talkative. And I even told him, yeah, at the end, like, yeah, it's interesting you're talking to me all this time, because most people in LA, we don't talk. And he's like, he said something like, you know, information is supposed to be shared. You know, he told me that at the end. He says, also at the end, he gave me some life advice. You know, be diligent, work hard, and be positive. Simple advice, you know. So, and then after that, I fed those two random dogs that needed food. They came up to me all happy, and I remember when I took out the crackers, it's like the dogs saw me take out those crackers, and they got excited. They're running back to the owner, realizing they had food, and I was just like, I don't know, and I gave it to the owner, and I was just like, and even in those small everyday things that happened today, it just was beautiful today, you know. It was a good day so far. So I don't know what's going on. I didn't expect all these two extra things happen, you know. Usually I just work alone on my business and that's it, but today was a good day. I wanted to document and share with you, man. Just have a positive day, man. Even say a hi, me just saying hi to that guy, you know. And after that, it's like God rewarded me with these dogs coming up to me, and I gave them some food. And they say in the Bible, it's better to give than to receive. So it was just crackers for me, you know. And it looked like the dogs, they didn't have enough food, you know. So it was a good day. Just those two, especially the dog moment, I felt good. I don't even have pets myself, but you know, it felt good, you know, just to make those dogs happy for a little bit. So anyways, thanks for watching the video. I gotta go. Publish your journey for my publishing brand, HowExpert. Stay tuned for my books, HowExpert books, okay? HowExpert publishes how-to guides on all topics from A to Z. Visit howexpert.com to learn more. If you want to learn about book publishing or online business, click the link below the video. Learn from me. Thanks for watching. Talk soon and be positive. Take care. Bye.